This week on Rugged Expeditions, I don't know how to put it, but when Mack and I and Schalk get together, we're usually going buffalo hunting.
We need to let him come forward a little more.
We went through the local village, and a couple of the local guys came out and started telling us about these two buffalo that had been coming in and raiding their crops and causing all kinds of problems. There's a reason why they call these things Black Death.
Here we go.
Because even though you put a ton of lead in them, that doesn't mean they're not coming. Brought to you by Safari Club International, first for hunters. We're way up north, right in the corner next to Sudan and Kenya, up here in Kadepo. Fabulous area. They get plenty of rainfall, green grass, lots of wildlife. It's an amazing part of Africa. We've got a half dozen Dugga boys right here on the other side of this little water hole. The wind is kind of swirling now. It doesn't look like any of them are monsters, but these are Nile buffalo. We're used to looking at Cape buffalo, so a couple of them look like they got good bosses, so they could be decent. The Nile buffalo has a different horn formation typically, where instead of the horns dropping down and sweeping back up like this, like you would with a Cape buffalo, the Nile buffalo tends to come down this way and flatten out here and then curve up at the tips. You do see some that look like they might be mixed, where they'll have a bit of a drop and then flatten out. But as a rule of thumb, that's what you're looking for a true trophy Nile buffalo. They're all standing up. And like buffalo everywhere, one is facing each direction. They can smell something, but they don't know where it's coming from. It's swirling around this wind. The one in there isn't too bad. There's nothing better than hunting with an old trusted friend, especially when you're hunting stuff that can kill you. I met Mack Padgett over 30 years ago. 30 years ago?
First, it took me a long time to figure out why anybody in the world would spell their name like that.
Growing up in the North, I'd never been around Southern people before, or their mannerisms, or especially their accents. So for me, it was almost like learning a new language.
And it took me a long time to really understand what he was talking about. I mean, what's a mum? Where I come from, a mum is some kind of flower they use at Easter.
I do have to say, though, that when I first met him, it took me a long time to really get used to his accent.
A toque? What's this toque? I mean, come on, Al. It's a sock hat.
Mack used to introduce himself by saying things such as, "Hi, I'm Mack Padgett, Jacksonboro, South Carolina. Damn glad to meet you." You know, that was something a little bit different than I was used to.
Here's this Seattle city boy. I had to teach him a lot of things.
Now that I finally, after all these years, have got Mack whipped into shape, and he realizes, you know, what he's supposed to do and how he's supposed to act.
It's worked out in the end. There's still a lot of stuff Al needs to work on, but you just have to keep at it.
Hunting with Alain and Mack is always an interesting adventure, where they seem to feed off each other's fear, or maybe a lack of it, especially with buffalo.
Give me some love, give me some love. Man, what a monster.
Mack and I have been in on over 25 buffalo kills together. Most of the ones that we've been in on, Schalk's been with us also. So he's got a lot of experience working with the two of us in dangerous situations. Out buffalo hunting, you never know what you're gonna see. We were coming across this open area this morning, and here's a lion, and it's hunting, but it's wide open, big female, looking really good shape. She was kind of angling away from us, so I thought I'd break out the old predator call and see what happened. She just sat there and looked at us, wondering, what the hell? The great thing about being in Africa is getting to see stuff like that. Where else are you going to see a lion walking across at daybreak? What a great sight. Kadepo Valley National Park is so remote that I think they only have a couple hundred visitors a year come up here. And there's this buffalo that has a broken horn that was a specific one that apparently he'd been in trouble with lions. He was all scratched up and scarred and that. And he was coming into the local village and giving them hell in their fields and stuff. So that was the one they wanted us to take. The countryside up here in the northern part of Uganda has a lot of variance to it. We've got everything from 6-inch grass that looks like a big golf course to waist-high long brown grass. We've got mountains. So every day it's a different variety and makes it exciting. You never know what's going to be around the next corner.
Uganda was once referred to as the Jewel of Africa by the British who colonized the country in about 1890. Bordered by the huge expanse of Lakes Victoria and Albert, the country boasts fantastic natural resources and abundant wildlife. After its independence from colonial rule in 1962, Uganda thrived until a bloody coup led to a brutal dictatorship. Crazed dictator Idi Amin.
It is not my intention to be a president, but it is the people who appointed me to be the president of the Republic of Uganda.
Idi Amin was thought to have murdered over 300,000 of his own people and was reputed to practice cannibalism. Amin was overthrown in 1979 after several years of civil war, and Uganda has been prospering ever since. The wildlife of Uganda remained protected even during the brutal civil war, and big game hunting was reopened in 1994 to adventurous hunters.
On our way back to camp one day, we went through the local village, tried to buy a few goodies, and a couple of the local guys came out and started telling us about these 2 buffalo that had been coming in and raiding their crops and causing all kinds of problems. They'd actually chased a few of the guys out of the fields. One of them had a broken horn on one side, and the other one was wounded. He had some kind of a bloody streak across his head. They weren't sure what it was from, but they said, you can't miss them. They're real distinct. We found the tracks, but it turned out that the one bull that had the bloody spot on his head had actually made it back across the park boundary. And of course, you can't go hunting in any of the national parks. So we had to leave him alone, and we called the game department and told them that he was in the park and they would have to follow him up themselves. Lucky for us though, and the villagers, the broken horn bull had cut away from the other one before he got to the park boundary, and we got on his tracks just to see what might happen. When you're hunting with Mack Padgett and you're after buffalo, we've developed this policy that whoever's turn it is, he gets the first shot, but after that, it's every man for himself.
Okay, there's 2 of them. Which one's a broken horn?
Look at the one on the left.
The left?
See, he's got his head down?
Yeah, he just took a step.
Yep. Give him a second, let him.
All right.
Okay, that's him. That's for sure him. That's the one that they want.
Okay, boys, here we go.
Let it rip, man.
It's showtime. Okay, okay. Okay, here we go.
There's a reason why they call these things Black Death. Because even though you put a ton of lead in them, that doesn't mean they're not coming.
Look at the bosses on him.
That's a nice bull.
Old broken horned. Dogga boy. Dogga boy.
Thanks, Schalk.
They wanted this one killed. He's got the one broken off horn, but looks like old lion scars on his back. That was probably what did it. Meaner than hell, so they're looking to get him out of here.
That's an old one.
I mean, well, thanks a million, man, for coming over here with me and sharing
This
another
has
great
been so awesome.
rugged
Yet again,
expedition and buffalo hunting the way we love to do it.
I can't look forward more to the next one.
Yeah, this place has got everything for the buffalo. I mean, it's got tsetse flies, it's got grass. In Africa, there's always stuff that bites. One of the worst things that's there is the damn tsetse fly. Those things, when they bite you, it's like a hot poker getting stuck on your skin. They're no fun at all. Those of you who've never been bitten by a tsetse fly, imagine that it's, how would you describe it, Mack?
You know, it's a surprise. There's no doubt about that.
But the good thing is, we like tsetse flies, because wherever there's tsetse flies, there's no domestic animals. And where there's no domestic animals, there's Cape buffalo.
And Bogo.
Tsetse flies are our friend, whether, oh, son of a gun. Whether we like them or not, they're kind of our friend. It's a love-hate relationship.
The tsetse fly is only found in Africa. The tsetse is similar in size to a housefly. Tsetse are distinguished by their long proboscis, which is used to feed on the blood of animals. Tsetse carry a disease known as sleeping sickness, to which there is no known cure. Besides killing domestic animals, this dreaded illness also kills thousands of people a year across the Dark Continent.
One of the super things about getting to be one of the first guys into an area like in the northern part of Uganda is these buffalo there have hardly been hunted at all. So when you get to look at huge, huge herds of buffalo and they stand at 200 yards and look back at you, it's quite a sight to see. Our black friends are right over there. Schalk is getting a little excited. I can always tell if it's Dugga boys or not by the look on Schalk's face. He gets as intense like, I can't wait to go play with them, look.
On the left. Yeah. We need to let him come forward a little more. Facing straight at us.
It's the last one.
What'd you think about that first shot?
The first one was good. He was straight at me. And it, you know, below his chin, so it should have raked him straight in.
It sounded good.
We'll just give him some time.
It's always incredible to me, though, that a buffalo can take a 5.77 straight on and then a second one and keep going. I mean, it's, you'd think it would just, the weight of the lead would make him drop. These things are tough. This wide open country like we're in right here, it was so hard to get in close. Schalk did a great job of getting us into position here where at least we had a shot at him. Thank God they laid down as we were sneaking up on him, so. Whew, that gets my blood going.
Absolutely.
We found some good lung blood and some dark blood as well. Both shots definitely hit him. At least least it's nice and open in here. If he comes, we'll have a little bit of a chance out here. But I just put his head into this thick stuff. And he'll stay out here. We come up high here to look down inside and see if we can get a look at him and see where he's laid up. It's so thick we're just inching along trying to find a place where we can get a look at him and find chunks of lung blood. And we're running out of daylight, so we're trying to get a look from up here and see if we can possibly nail him down. Right there. Schalk, come here. Look. He's broadside right here. I don't know. Has he got hooks or not? That hit him. He's run up this hill. I'm sure he's dead right up in here, but we gave it hell. We've been on him for 2 hours and 15 minutes. We've been finding lung blood, red blood.
I keep thinking, the next one.
So he's got to be right out in here, maybe up in that thicket up there, but how can they take that much lead? This is getting a little dicey. All right, let's get back to the truck before it's dark.
At dawn, Alain and the crew headed back to where they had lost the blood trail in the darkness the night before.
This morning we just circled back down where we'd originally shot from, and that's when we saw him laying in here. So, man, we got lucky. We found him. He didn't go far from where we shot him last time. Well, that's good. At least we know he died right away last night. Makes you feel a little better because you hate to leave an animal out overnight that's wounded or maybe has had some kind of injury, but well, we got him dug out of the bushes. You can see how old this bull is by how worn down his tips are. He's all broken off in here, and he used to come up like this. The standard one would come up with a bigger hook, but they wear them down as they get old like this. He was all done breeding, just hanging out with one of his buddies. Classic case of not hanging out with the herds anymore, just wandering around enjoying life. A hard-won trophy. Now we'll just get him cut up and hauled back to camp and have ourselves some buffalo steaks tonight. Once again, another great adventure with my two best friends, Mack and Schalk. It's always comforting to know that when that pucker factor gets just a little bit too high, I've got these two guys to back me up, and I'm there to back them up as well.